Going on to all my Taurus. So you Taurus have got the World, the Page of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, King of Swords, the Four of Cups, the World, the Chariot. I want to get this right now. The Four of Wands, Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, and last but not least, you have the Five of Cups. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you Taurus is you Taurus happen to be in a situation right now where the world usually represents you. Okay, the world, the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands is about how you are on a definitely a new world perspective. You're thinking worldly, right? Just as I said before, whenever it is that one interaction doesn't necessarily work within your city, you may want to go ahead and start to travel, because the world is a big and a small place. And what I mean by that is, obviously, the world is huge, but it's a small place in the sense of it's not as troublesome to travel the way that sometimes it could be, right? Traveling is now more of a convenience now more than ever, and it's going to continue to be more of a convenience. So the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands represents these people who have their own emotional baggage, trying to have justification to be so upset at you. But a lot of you Taurus, like I said, you're not thinking about that. What you Taurus are thinking about is a lot of you Taurus, like I said, you're thinking worldly. So if a situation between yourself and somebody else don't really work out, you Taurus will date other people. You'll date in your city. You'll date in a different city, right? Just in case if you meet somebody that ended up coming to your city, that you ended up meeting, that they don't necessarily live in that city, but they come over to this city or this part of the city just so that they can get something, some sort of supplies, or, meet any one of their family members, whatever excuse it is. Or you don't mind leaving the country for that. The King of Swords and the Four of Cups now represents, yes. Because sometimes, Taurus, what you got to understand is in your own city, people don't even necessarily really want to be with you like that in your own city. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's just how it is sometimes. I'm not saying that's how it is all the time, but in your own stomping ground sometimes, when you're trying to date around, people are too familiar with you. So what they'll do is sometimes they may take you for granted, right? Oh, that's just plain Jane, that's just plain Joe, when they should really try to get to know you, right? Because you're from that city. Especially if you see a lot of people, they're used to seeing you all the time. But then when you're not from that city, like I said before, a lot of people want to leave a very good impression on, usually, right? Usually. But a lot of people usually want to leave a very good impression on their city. Like, a lot of people don't want to have someone with a bad taste in their mouth about their city, their county, their city, their state, their country. So what will happen is that if and when you decide to travel, date around, don't just date the people who are closest to you in your neighborhood. Date in your city, right? Where you may have to take the subway. You may have to take a bus. You may have to take a car. You may have to take, you understand what I'm saying? You may have to walk in order to get to know these people or get to hang out with these people. When you start to broaden your horizons further and further out, the more appreciation you get. You understand? I'm not saying every single last time, but the King of Swords and the Four of Cups represents the effort that's being put into you. The same kind of effort, for starters, that you want other people to give to you is the same amount of effort that you will get once you start to think worldly. You don't have to always date within your block. You understand what I'm saying? Within the close proximity to you, right? You can date within your city, because I live in New York City. There's some people that I tried to talk to in my neighborhood. They were a waste of my time. played games, wasted my time. So guess what I started to do? I started with more of the knowledge that I got, started to expand further and further out. So what that means for me is started talking to people that I wanted to get to know, that I just seen around different parts of my city. Madison Square Garden, Union Square, this, that, the third, right? Broader and broader out, broader and broader out. So now the chariot and the Four of Wands is about understand that the reason why it is that you're going through this is, like I said before, is because people are a little bit too comfortable with you. And that's the particular problem. They're too comfortable with you. What you, Taurus, need to do when it comes to that or that comfortability is to essentially make yourself scarce. Because like I said, unfortunately, it's sad like it got to be this way, but repetition breeds contempt. Repetition breeds contempt. So when you out here and people see you too many times, right? Sometimes you need to make yourself scarce. Sometimes you need to make yourself rare. And how do you do that? So that you can maintain that level of respect is to move in silence sometimes. And sometimes to let people come to you. Yes, approach, but also let people come to you. I told all of the zodiac signs when I do my lives that you are not very good at getting to know people unless you learn to do both. It's not too good for you to constantly have to approach people, and it's not too good for you no matter who you are. It's not too good for you to constantly have to where you're stuck in a mode where you only can be approached. Because, and I'll explain to you why that is, because if you're only doing the approaching, right, you are putting yourself out there too much. Because when you only are doing the approaching, right, you're approaching too much, right, you're going to get frustrated with the fact that you keep putting in an effort to at least try to get to know people. If you don't manage that, you'll get frustrated because you'll be like, you spoke to 30, 40, 50, 60 people, 100 people within a few weeks, and they're all in the game, right? As to where if you are only getting approached, you become scared, you become chicken stuff to do the approaching. Now you want people to read your mind, right? I'm not lying. You want people to now read your mind and to think like you, right? You want people to see you. So you start putting on makeup. You start putting on, right? For some of you, you start putting on the finest cologne or what you think is cologne. You start brushing your hair in the mirror, trying to make it look like Brad Pitt from the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith and stuff like this, trying to get the cool hair and whatnot. And then at the same time, expecting the person to read your mind because you stuck in a bubble of you can't do the approaching. You want someone to get themselves into a conversation with you, but you're too scared to approach. So now it's you on that time limit. Oh, that person's about to get away. What you gonna do, right? And sometimes it's kind of unfortunate that so many people are stuck in that getting approached. This is how it is that we end up getting wallflowers. What I mean when I say wallflowers, I mean people who are too scared to initiate. People who are too scared to be like, look, bump this. I'm going to go up and speak to somebody that I won't. and cut it out with all of this and get to what I want and get to the point. The Queen of Cups now represents, so for you Taurus, right? So this is about how a lot of you Taurus, like I said, now that you have this worldly approach, now you need to think about what you're going to do next about it, okay? Are you going to continue to date within your city? If you do that, let me help you prepare for that. If you Taurus decide to do that, okay, then you will have to take into consideration mobility. So even if you do get somebody that is interested in trying to get to know you, what is the best way for you to travel to them and them to travel to you? All right. So for now, think about how you're going to travel to them so that you got your bases covered, right? Also, when it comes to a person that's not just in your neighborhood, but in your city, make sure that make sure that they don't know you. Make sure that they haven't heard about your reputation. You know why? Because people who don't hear about your reputation, right? Like for me, even with the people who I've met and my friends and stuff like this, I would never introduce my friends to my other friends. They would have to already know each other. And the reason why I would never introduce my friends to my other friends, or the person who I was dating to my friends, was because I never wanted them to get together in a group and potentially say some squat about me behind my back. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that they were doing that, but y'all know how weird people can be and how much they flip-flop, right? They start talking, they start being a little bit too friendly, next thing I know. So I like compartmentalizing them, right? Plus they didn't really want to meet each other. You know what I mean? You know, they didn't want to really meet each other because I knew different people from different walks of life. People who had money, people who, my best friend, people who, lived in the same hood with me, similar circumstances, people who were, gangster and all this stuff. And, they in that world, they were born into that dysfunction. I knew people from different types. So the thing about it is that for you, make sure that nobody knows your reputation, right? When they approach you, you get a fresh start so that there's no kind of reputation that precedes you where people, the Taurus is just out here. Wow, I heard about you or whatnot, right? The Nine of Cups and the Five of Cups now represents, and when that happens, right, either you're going to do the approaching or someone is approaching you, right? If you're interested in getting to know them, allow yourself to be playful, allow yourself to let them hang out with you. Same thing. If you're going to approach them, get to the point. Get to the point. Be a little bit playful. Get to the point. Tell them, hey, listen, I like, have some little conversation. Get their name, okay? Because I'm teaching y'all. Get their name. Be a little bit playful. Not too much to the point where you look like a goofy, but get their name. Be playful, okay? Show them that you're smart, right? Just make a little quick, fast-witted joke, nothing that's giving them a backhanded compliment or anything. Just, something, a little quick-witted about their clothes or some sort of attribute about them or whatnot. And what you do is you let them know directly, hey, listen, I like you. Let me give you my number. Can I give you my number? You call me, right? If they, like I said before, if they say no, they're in the game. They're in the game, okay? They're in the game. If they say yeah, good on you. Because you want to be able to have the person call you. And the reason why is because people are out here playing games. So when you exchange numbers, they like to spin it. Oh, now this weirdo got my number. Now I got a stalker on my head, to gaslight their ego up. But then when they have your number, now it's, if you don't want to call me, don't call me. So now it puts them on blast. One of the best ways, one of the easiest ways to know if somebody is in the game is to offer them your number. Have a conversation with them. Tell them that, you know what I mean, you like what it is that you see and that you think that the two of you can have something more. Give them your number. Offer them your number. If they say no, they in the game. Trust me, they're in the game. Either they're in the game or they really don't have anybody. But if you want to know if they really don't have anybody, if they say stuff like, oh, I got a boyfriend. I got a girlfriend. I got somebody. Oh, this, oh, that. You know that they in the game. Because people who are happy in relationships, they not going to say that. They just going to be like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. I appreciate it, though. Appreciate you. And then, and they're going to be respectful and they're going to go about their business. They're not going to even necessarily, most of the times, tell you about their business because that's none of your business who they got. You just need to know that they're telling you that they're not interested, and that's flat. They don't have to go above and beyond. Oh, I got somebody already. That's cap. let's clarify the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is so to clarify the Five of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, right? The Four of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Wands, right? If you try your hand and you try to say, hey, what's up? You talk to people and stuff like this. Like I said before, if they give you the okie doke, oh, I got somebody already. They are lying. They're lying. The Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, again, because a lot of people want to look cool. So the best thing for you Taurus, to do right now is to approach people or allow other people to approach you. Do both. Okay, is my point. Do both. And don't worry about the people that you can't get, because more than likely they're in the game. They do like you. It's just that they're in the game. They lying. Or when it comes to those people, the people that is a go, date those people. Give those people a chance. Those people that, you walk out of their life, trust me, when you walk off and you're not sweating about it, they're going to be looking at you. Because there's been many times where people that I've been trying to talk to, you know what I mean? And they told me, oh, no, they got somebody. And I go, okay. Me and my dog, we walk off. Because I'll be walking my dog usually. Me and my dog walk off. We're minding our own business. And then my dog wants me to turn back. So my dog will pull to the opposite of where I am or where we're walking. I go ahead and look back, and then they looking at me. Like I said, all of that game and stuff like this, all of that stuff is lying. All of that stuff is cap. So that's pretty much it. If you found value within this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called a link tree. Click on it. It'll redirect you to all of my social media outlets in ways you can support me. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers. As of right now, I have 5,530 some odd subscribers. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos.